mind you, it is not how fast you read a book, but what you gain from reading the book. So we shouldn't we shouldn't be so proud and be saying out there that, oh, I've read 50 books, I've read 100 books, I have read 3 books within 3 weeks. What you should be asking yourself is, what have you gained from that 3 books that you've read within that 3 weeks? You just stop reading, don't read. Why are you reading but have zero impact? Why are you reading but learn nothing from the book? Some of you out there have read the 5 a.m. club but still wakes up at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Some have read the psychology of money, but their finances are in the drain. Some of us have read how to make friends and influence people, but we can count the number of friends that we have, and we have zero impact on others. Some have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but they are still poor. And the list goes on and on and on. Aren't these books supposed to shape our life or impact our life? Because we heard people saying that I read this book and it impacted my life, I read this book and my life changed. We go in for the same book, we read them, and we gain zero impact from the book. Is that the people who say that they are lying, or the books that are being named best-selling, it's just a myth? Here's the reason. 1, you read too fast. We see people online saying 1 book, 1 week, 6 books within a month, 5 books, 5 weeks, and we want to jump on these challenges and read as many books as we can without gaining any knowledge from it. You know, reading is not just about rushing through pages, flipping and reading them. It's about absorbing what you read and implementing them in your life. And so when you are reading, you'd have to take your time, read pages and reflect on them, and look at how you can implement these books in your life. Other than that, you just rush through pages, and at the end of the day, you say, I've read 10 books, I've read 50 books within a year, but when they ask you the impact, we don't see any impact that those books have had on your life. Secondly, we set unrealistic goals for ourselves when you are reading. You can read 1 page in a day. Nobody is forcing you. You can read half a page or half a chapter in a day. Nobody is on your neck. But we set unrealistic goals for ourselves. I want to read 6 chapters within a day. I want to read 50 pages within a day, whilst you have a very demanding job, whilst you don't have the time to read these books. So when we get a little time, we want to rush and finish these goals that we've set for ourselves. We do this and we don't gain any information or any impact from the books that we are reading. We just finish these goals and we don't remember anything that we've read. And on the other hand, we also read during inconvenient places and during inconvenient hours. Over here in the country, you see people pull out books in church and they start reading. I'm not in any way saying that reading in church is bad, but considering the noise, makes saying from 50 pesos, mommy, people saying Messi will have say, people selling on the street, pure water, all these distractions, and you are trying to read. If you are reading a novel or a story, fine. But if you are reading a life impacting book, when you read during these inconvenient hours, you just rush through pages or read pages, and at the end of the day, forget everything that you've read. You can't really apply this knowledge that you've read in a book in your life. And inconvenient hours, my dear reader, it is time for you to go to bed. Your eyes are even closing. Why are you forcing yourself to still read? Close the book and sleep. You strain yourself, you read, and at the end of the day, you just flip through pages, consume information without understanding how to implement this information in your life. And so, when you are feeling sleepy, put the book away and sleep. Last but not the least, when you are reading, lower your expectations. We are not in a position to grab everything that a book comes with it. For example, I read this book, From Good to Great, How Some Companies Make It to a Leap Year. And when you ask me, the only thing that I remember from this book, or the only knowledge that stuck with me, is great ideas or great vision without great people is irrelevant. This is the only thing that I can remember as far as I'm concerned from this book. In as much as I have a lot of pages that I've bookmarked, when you ask me what knowledge that I gained from this book, it is just that. And I feel like it is enough for me. Reading this whole book and getting that, I feel like I am okay. And so when you take a book to read, don't be so keen on grasping everything that comes with the book. Know that some knowledge in a book may be relevant to you, or you're in a position not to apply, because there are some information in this book that I'm not having a company that I'm running, so they are irrelevant to me. And so same way when you're reading books, there are some information that are irrelevant. So when you are keen on absorbing everything, you end up collecting a lot of irrelevant information that have zero impact on your life. So when you're reading book, don't expect to gain everything that the books comes with it. And mind you, it is not how fast you read a book, but what you gain from reading the book. So we shouldn't we shouldn't be so proud and be saying out there that, oh, I've read 50 books, I've read 100 books, I have read 3 books within 3 weeks. What you should be asking yourself is, what have you gained from that 3 books that you've read within that 3 weeks? Don't just read. Read to learn. Read to impact your life. Our body needs exercise, just as our brain needs exercise. And the only way we can exercise our brain is through reading. And so develop the habit of reading, and it will go a long way to help you. There's a lot of information hidden in books, and if you develop the habit of reading, you make yourself valuable by learning valuable information.